Is recording.
No cold open in this episode, ladies and gentlemen.
We're just going into it.
We're doing it live.
We're coming
Fuck
to
it.
you live.
We're coming live with another Disney episode.
Yeah, because we can't escape those allegations.
I think I've
Unfortunately.
updated the Instagram. It says comedy with a hint of Disney.
Yeah.
So with that, welcome everyone.
Here we go.
Continuing the tier lists and discussing the attractions and rides of everything. We're going to be doing Hollywood Studios. And I'll be honest, as we go from one park to the next, I've noticed that the number of items that we can discuss gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
So this one only has, I think, 19 to 21. And
That's
like,
not a lot.
in comparison, I think Magic Kingdom was between 36 and 42. It was a lot more.
Damn.
Yeah. But, same as last two times, we're going to rank them S through F. S being flawless and love going on it. F being avoid riding it whenever you can. Do you have any strong memories about Hollywood Studios, Lynn?
No.
Nothing.
No. See, I didn't really go to Hollywood Studios as a kid. Like, it was either Magic Kingdom or Epcot. So the only experience I have with Hollywood Studios has been as an adult, and I have to say it's not my favorite park. It's like my least favorite.
That's fair. That's
I'm not
fair.
a big fan.
And then on top of that, Animal Kingdom you worked at, so you have
Yeah.
strong memories for it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased.
I think Hollywood Studios I enjoy because my dad introduced me to Star Wars, so that got me interested in the park. And then when they made Galaxy's Edge, it just got me more excited. I think it was always a fun park. It's definitely changed, I think, the most compared to all four parks.
I definitely agree. I have to say another good thing that I do love about Hollywood Studios is the theming. I feel like the theming is so immersive and so on point. I feel like that's what it does differently from the other parks, and it really raises the bar up high.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a good expansion because the way that like the Disney company got their name and like their status was through film. It was through Snow White and Bambi and Mary Poppins, like all these big classics. That's how Disney came to be where they are. So it's kind of nice that they pay homage to that in a way. Like the Great Movie Ride, phenomenal. And I truly missed that ride, if you ask me.
I've never been on it.
It's too late then. You'll never be able to experience it. I got a good story to talk about it when we get to that ride, though.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Yeah. But why don't we jump in? I've organized this from front of the park to the back, kind of doing a loop. So why don't we start off with arguably the best ride at the park entirely, Tower of Terror, Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to put this? Just from like what you remember of the ride.
I mean, I have to do that ride every single time I go to Hollywood Studios. I would have to rank it either S, but I kind of want to give it an A rating because it's one of those rides where, depending on the type of person you are, you can't do it like more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't do it back to back because it is so kind of like, woo. But it's amazing, and I love the theming.
Mm-hmm. I do love like the setup of everything. Like it feels like it is an abandoned hotel, but like all the details of like the cobwebs and the dust everywhere, it's very like timeless. Like it looks like it's just been abandoned.
Yeah.
The intro with the narrator from the Twilight Zone, I think, is also phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I have a fun fact
Ooh.
about that scene. So when you first enter the library and you listen to the backstory of a late Hollywood night, there's a thunderstorm, and then the 5 people go missing after the towers get struck by lightning.
Mm-hmm.
The narrator is only on screen for general points. He's not saying specifically things about the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror or the
Yeah.
Hollywood Tower, he only addresses like this, as you will recall, and he points
Mhm.
behind him, and everything else is like just a narration over top.
Mhm.
The original actor who's from the Twilight Zone passed away, and they had somebody who could recreate his voice, like just you know, like an actor,
Uh-huh.
finish the lines that were specific to Tower of Terror. So when he does the point behind to address the maintenance elevator, it cuts right before he says maintenance elevator because that would have been specific to the ride.
Yeah, I've heard of this before, but I didn't remember all the details, so I'm glad you did bring it up. But now I
Mm-hmm.
really want to keep an eye out for that when I go
Mm-hmm.
back
Yeah,
and see
it
what.
is. It's a clever like stitching of the audios and like the visuals that they made. I also think it's very impressive where it's like the engineering behind it. It's okay. An elevator should never fall,
Yeah.
but what if we made it fall?
Ooh.
And like watching the Imagineering story and digesting all that and watching it, it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
From childhood memories, I also want to put it between an S or an A. I could definitely do it multiple times in one day, but not back to back.
Yeah, I could
I think that
not
would
do
be
it.
too much of like bleh.
Hmm. And I think
Hmm.
it's such a great ride too because it does give you that weightless feeling. I feel
Hmm.
like most rides like at Disney parks don't. So it's just
Yeah.
kind of a more unique experience too, for
Hmm.
sure.
I want to say it's great only because I've had experiences get ruined because of guests around me. Like you hear
Yeah.
the way some people scream, it's like so over the top.
Hmm.
It's just that kind of pulls it away. It would have been flawless if it was like I don't know, maybe the seats are a little bit wider because that's also
Yeah.
an issue. Like I always feel like I'm doing this, but overall, I think it's great.
Great ride.
It is a great ride. I remember, I think one of my earliest memories
Hmm.
for just my brain entirely and for Disney experiences is my sister and I in those plastic two seaters for
Hmm.
like kids.
Yeah.
And I'm begging my mom to for all of us to go on that ride. Can we
Hmm.
go on Tower of Terror? I really want to go on it. And then my parents are like, it's really scary. And it's like, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. And my sister was kind of like, no, I don't want to do it. It's like, no, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go on the ride. And somehow my brain remembers all of that happening, a cut, and then all I remember is the post and my sister crying and going, I hate you. I hate you, Braden. I hated that ride. I don't
Dang.
remember going up the I don't remember going through the queue. I don't remember the ride itself. I don't remember the pre-show. I don't remember leaving the ride. I just remember walking up Sunset and back Sunset.
Dang.
Weird experience.
A ride so good you forget it.
Exactly. I think that'd be awesome if you could just forget a ride entirely cuz then I think the first experience is always the best time.
It really is.
Like my first time on Avatar, you can't redo that. My first time on Cosmic was like so insane. Like I felt so like jittery and excited afterwards.
Yeah, it's like a special emotion you can't recapture, so it'd be really nice to have the ability to just poof, forget, and then you do it again.
Exactly. But for rides that I'm glad I remember because I don't want to ride them again, we're going to next talk about Rock and Roller Coaster. Who's the band again?
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith?
Yeah,
Listen, I've never even heard of Aerosmith until Rock and Roller Coaster. I still don't know what songs is Aerosmith.
that's crazy.
Like, what are some like big popular Aerosmith songs?
Walk This Way, Dream
Okay,
On,
I
Sweet
know
Emotion.
I know Walk This Way for sure.
Yeah.
Classic rock. Have you ever seen the rain? See, none of these I don't think I know. And like, sure, maybe when they built the ride, it made sense.
Hmm.
Maybe when they built it, it was like, oh, we have a big fame, and we have a contract deal that we can do with a band. So I
Yeah.
wonder as well, I got to do research afterwards, but I wonder if it was like we can get Aerosmith or ACDC or some other band, and like they were
Mhm.
just doing deals and like figuring out which one would be best for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
I feel like I vaguely remember something, but I don't
Hmm.
remember the specifics, so I don't want to say it and then it end up being wrong. But I think it's really the case. They were just one of like, I guess, the few considered classic rock bands, and Disney just decided to go with them.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
that also makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything like, because I feel like as well the ride's so cramped. Like
Yeah.
I've seen and I know how Tower of Terror works. I've
Right.
seen like the breakdown of how it all works and the
Mhm.
engineering of it. But I think Arrows or Rock and Roller Coaster, it's literally just like get in this tiny queue, get in this tiny side alley that's like supposed to look like a construction site,
Mhm.
and then get on the ride and get off.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen more of it when you were a cast member?
I have. So I actually did a backstage tour during my first program, and
Oh,
I actually learned a lot of neat things. So the part where you're taking off, like you go from like 0 to 60 or whatever, it is so cold in that first tunnel because that's where all the computers that run the ride, that's where they are.
oh,
So in
interesting.
order to like keep them cool, they have the fans blasting in there. And a really neat thing that I did not notice as a guest, whenever you're on the ride, the ground is supposed to have like neon kind of like paint. It's supposed to look like street lights and building lights, but I feel like I never notice it. But when I was doing the backstage tour, you look down on the ground, there's those lights when you have the lights turned on. It's just neon paint, like glow in the dark paint.
Hmm.
The ride
Interesting.
goes so fast you don't really notice it.
No, I don't notice much or any of it.
Yeah, I love
My,
the ride.
you where would you put it if you had control of the mouse?
I would say, I would say great ride, but I know it is a little bit intense considered for what it is. I feel like that's like
Hmm.
a real roller coaster. You know what I mean? Because it has
Oh,
the
it's
loop.
it is definitely a real roller coaster.
Yeah,
It's my issue is it's loud. Like it's pounding in your head.
I love the music, so that's like
Hmm.
a plus for me.
So
It's
let me ask
immersive.
this: would you rather go back to back on Rock and Roller Coaster or back to back on Tower of Terror?
Rockin'.
What?
I've done it before.
See, I feel like I'd get sick riding it back to back. See, I wanted to say might ride or good
Yeah.
ride.
Okay, I could argue for good ride too.
I'll meet you in the middle and I'll say it's a
Okay.
good ride.
I always get the same song on there. I don't even know what song it is. Like, it's not one of their, like, big ones. And every single time, I always get it.
What isn't that another thing about Rock and Roller Coaster people don't realize? It's like the original Cosmic where it's you'll get a different song.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into this when we get to Muppet Vision, but I just want to say an idea I had that I strongly think would make Rock and Roller Coaster a lot more exciting and maybe
Mhm.
bring more appeal towards this park would be to retheme it because it's clear that they're going to retheme it. They're going to have to make some changes. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert, they will. But what I really wanted is for them to call it Rocket Roller Coaster and make it look like there was graffiti over the N. So it just said like one word. And it would
Mhm.
be Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And the story I had in mind was that Rocket needs to test a new engine that he's going to put on his Guardians of the Galaxy spaceship.
Mhm.
But to make sure it's safe for any member of the team, he needs to test on humans. And then some sly joke about humans are the most delicate creatures. So if they can handle it, anyone else can. I don't know, something like that.
Mhm.
Um, and as well, it would take place after the third movie. So it'd be just him. There wouldn't be Peter Quill.
Gotcha.
There wouldn't be Drax. Groot would be in it, but like that's just like a couple lines, so it wouldn't be anything difficult. And then maybe he says something about I still have Quill's old um, music box, so I'll
Mhm.
be able to put on some tunes to make you guys enjoy it a little bit more. And then he's scrolling through and he goes, I don't know, I'll put shuffle when you guys blast off.
Mhm.
And then you take off, and it could be 6 different songs, different from Mission Breakout and different from Cosmic Rewind.
I like that. That's clever.
And then if I can just refer back to my playlist that I have,
Mhm.
where is it? I mentioned Panama during the Epcot episode.
Yeah.
I still think Panama would be good because it's so quick and fast. Kickstart My Heart would be even better. I think that
Mhm.
would be the September of this ride if they did the
Yeah.
rocket style. Don't Bring Me Down by Electric Light Orchestra might fit. I'm not too sure about that though.
I think it might be a little too slow.
You think so? Okay.
It might be, but it would definitely be a fun one though.
Mm-hmm. It'd be a really good song if they did like a Guardians theme.
Hmm.
I really hope Riverside makes a clip of this because I want to cut it and have it just Rick roll whoever's watching this on Instagram. But yeah, Rick Astley could be funny if they did it on one ride.
That would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But yeah,
surprised they haven't.
I wonder if they thought about it. I wonder if there was one Imagineer who was like, "What if?
Hmm.
What if we did?" Next isn't a ride, but it is an attraction or a show. And in my opinion, it's one that I still don't remember when they made this. It kind of just materialized.
Yeah.
It is the Lightning McQueen Racers Academy. It's definitely a good excuse to get some fresh air, but the only
Mhm.
issue is you have to go all the way past Sunset Boulevard, all the way through Rock and Roller Coaster, and then past it.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Mm-hmm. It is nice for the AC. It's just
Mhm.
out of the way.
Yeah. And I mean, the benches aren't comfortable,
Yeah.
so it's
It,
like,
mm-hmm. There's no backing. It's kind of
yeah.
like it's kind of just like a generic stadium bench, which kind of
Mhm.
sucks. I think it's a good or it's a might. What do you think?
To me, it's a might ride. Like, I might do it. I definitely like the special effects, like the fog.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the actual animatronic of Lightning McQueen is really cool,
It's
but
impressive, yeah.
yeah, I wish they kind of switched it up and didn't play the same exact scenario every single time. Because, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but at the same time, to argue that point, it's like, who's going to Lightning McQueen Racing Academy all the time?
No, exactly, yeah.
So it's like,
The My thing is I would go here if I was like eating right next to Rock and Roller Coaster and I
yeah,
needed like indoor AC, or
uh-huh,
I was by Tower and I wanted it.
yeah,
Maybe it's late at night and I'm waiting to do Phantasmic, something like
hmm,
that. But like if I need AC, I have ABC Commissary, several merchandise on the main street or Sunset. There's the Walt Disney walkthrough. That's also
hmm,
just enjoyable to see like the history.
yeah,
I think Light McQueen is just too pushed back.
yeah. I mean,
And it also
it's
got sorry, go.
oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it's a good time waster, like you mentioned, like if you're in that area, but that's the thing, you have to be in that area. So either you're waiting for someone on Rockin' or Tower of Terror, or you're waiting for Phantasmic. Other than that, it's like might as well just hit up the main section of the park or Sunset Boulevard to go shopping or just look around.
And have you ever done what is it called? Like have you ever been to Darth Maul during Star Wars week?
Mm-mm.
It was like an old thing they had back over there. I don't think they'll ever be able to do it again, but it was honestly enjoyable. It
Yeah,
was like imagine a Comic-Con but for Disney for
Star Wars.
no, this isn't it. Maybe I have to do that's literally just Darth Maul. It was this.
Oh,
So it was like almost like a pop-up tent, but
oh, okay.
they had a lot of stuff in there. It was really impressive. I have
That's
a
interesting.
I have like a 3D scan of my head and my body shape.
Uh-huh.
and then so does my dad, and it's us in stormtrooper outfits.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think that was like
Nice.
like one of the first pieces of merch I got that I'm like, this is sick. This is awesome.
Nice.
Next, though, we got something Lynn hasn't done that we talked about
Oh,
before the show, but I argue is one of the flawless of the classics of Disney, the Great Movie Ride, which was then replaced by Mickey's Runaway Railway. Do you know anything about
I do.
the Great Movie Ride?
I do. I know that there were like two, what is it, two different tracks or two different scenarios. And then they had Wizard of Oz, they had Alien, and like a few other like classic movies.
Oh, here we
And you
go.
would just like go through. And I remember from the videos that I've watched about it, they would have like a cast member like actually acting,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty
It
unique.
it was like the second Jungle Cruise, if you ask me,
Yeah.
because you always had a cast member with you, and they were a part of the show. They were a part of
Mhm.
the ride.
To me, this is like a cross between Jungle Cruise and Ellen's Energy Adventure,
Ooh,
if
yeah.
that
The
makes
car
sense.
the car is definitely similar to that. You're right about
Mhm.
that. I have a bad memory of it when I was a kid. It's
Ooh.
not even a memory, it's a story that my parents tell me like every now and then. I was like a baby, like I was young.
Mhm.
And it was late at night and my parents wanted to do one more ride, so we did this. And like just like the like dark, a little more calm, a little more quiet. I was out like a light super quickly. So I'm laying down sideways with my head in my mom's lap.
Mhm.
And right when the ride finished and like it clicked into place so that it could open the doors and you can walk out, I puked right in my mom's lap. And it
Oh
was
my
like, it,
god.
all I know is that it was enough that it was an issue of like they had to buy my mom, or like they had to give complimentary pants and or a shirt from the gift shop
Oh.
so that my mom could wear something. And then like I think they gave us like a shopping bag from the merchandise for my mom to put her old clothes in so that like she didn't just smell like vomit.
I just tossed the clothes at that point. Oh my god. I can't believe you did that.
I didn't mean to. I was a
I know.
baby.
You were just a little baby.
Just a little
Just
guy.
just a little guy. Oh my gosh. I feel like you're so brave for sharing that on the podcast.
It's whatever. I was a
It's
baby.
it's a safe space.
It is a safe space. Everyone has an embarrassing memory when they were at the parks. That's just like a
Yes.
funny thing to me.
Yeah.
Besides me puking though, as a baby, I always got excited to ride this. And I know
Mhm.
you haven't seen it, but I want to put this at flawless. I don't know about
From
you.
what I've like seen in YouTube videos at least, like I would have to say it's pretty like flawless ride. Like I remember
Hmm.
I think watching a ride through or either like one of those deep dive videos on it like a few years ago and I don't know, it just looked like something you can't recreate.
Mm-mm. It seemed very Disney. They
Yeah.
brought these movies to the real world and they
Mhm.
had actors. Like it was also clever. There was things like there's an animatronic that would speak to our cast member, and then there was a second
Yeah.
cast member who was like just like a person in the film. Like they would look like a western or something like that.
Yeah.
But of course, it got replaced because nowadays IP is the most important thing. Which,
Yep.
for those who don't know, that means intellectual property. For Disney, they then replaced it with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
It's okay.
Lynn is
It's
okay.
okay. It's
I don't
okay.
like I don't like the music. I'll say that.
I love the song. It gets stuck in my head all the time. Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. And then I
It's the
forget the
fact that
rest.
it gets stuck in my head makes me just dislike it. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's like almost a good song.
It's very
It's almost
catchy.
there. I think though that the ride itself, it's too flat. At
Mhm.
no point do I feel like this is like thrilling. I think this is just me watching a cartoon.
Yeah. I mean, like thinking back, I wonder if they toned down some of the special effects because I was actually there opening day I was
Mm-hmm.
there opening day for it. And I remember the scene where you go through the twister. I remember like, oh my god, my ears are gonna fall off. Like I was actually like, this is like kind of intense. And then the scene where you're going down the waterfall, like maybe I was just so locked in that day and it was a new experience, but I actually felt like I was falling. And then now every single time I write it, I'm like, okay, like now this is kind of obvious. So maybe it's either me or they toned down the effects a little bit, but
No, I do have to agree with you. I feel like when I first wrote it, I feel like
Mhm.
when we got to the waterfall, I thought we
Yeah.
did this. I could have sworn I felt like my back get
That
raised.
that's what I thought too.
I don't
But
know.
now I think they just keep it flat. But because they keep it flat, that effect doesn't like feel the same anymore. Like it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
I I won't go out of my way to ride it because it's also always such a long lineup. For some reason, I don't know why people go on it so much. I don't
Yeah.
understand the hype. I'm sorry. Controversial take. I just don't get it. I might ride it if I'm with people that want to, but I'm also not a fan. What do you think?
For me, it's a might ride for the exact reason you said. Like, it's very long wait. And, like, I get it. Like, it is Mickey and Minnie's first ride. But I have to say, I understand they were using the Chinese theater exterior for the ride building. So they kind of kept it looking like a movie theater on the inside. But I just came back from Disneyland. Their queue is so much better. And I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like if we had their queue, I wouldn't mind waiting in line. Like their queue looks like a movie theater, but it also has like props from like old Mickey movies, and they brought like the props to life.
Oh yeah, you're
Like it's
right.
like almost like a museum of like Mickey.
That's probably Steamboat Willie. I can't see the sign, but it looks like Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
I know there's something where there's a popcorn. Oh, oh,
I didn't even see that. What?
that's awesome. For audio listeners who we respect, it's the what show
Mouse
was this
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Mousecatool ear thing.
with the triangle gear and the square gear and the circle
Yeah.
gear. Um,
Is that
and it's
Toodles?
which picture?
Oh, like the one you're looking at, but to the left on the red column. Oh, I don't think that's Toodles. Sorry, I got excited.
You're confusing me so badly right now.
Sorry.
But there's also a popcorn concession stand, and I don't know if you saw this, but the popcorns look like Mickey shaped. Like it looks
Yeah.
like a round, a small stick for the nose, and then the kernel pop is on his ears.
Yeah. I had lightning lane, so we kind of rushed through, but we actually could
Hmm.
have took our time because there was no one in the line, but
Yeah,
we were just so excited.
it is fun.
It
I,
was
I
really
gotta agree
fun.
with you. Next, not ride, just a walkthrough, like we mentioned before, the
Hmm.
Walt Disney experience. Just the history and the old shows and some concept models. I think it's good just to walk through.
Yeah. I would rate it good.
Me too. I don't I don't think it's too much to talk about for this.
No, I mean, I really like at the end you have the movie you can watch if you would
Hmm.
like, or like the little film preview of what's coming. So I like that. And then I also like in that room, they also have the props for the movie or like the
Hmm.
costumes of whatever they're
Yeah.
about to show. So I definitely like that.
And then there's I don't know if this has always been a thing, but they have a section for a cruise that's either
Hmm.
newly built or newly like open to the public. I think
Hmm.
right now it's the Treasure that they have like
I think.
concept model and like concept art of some interior sections, like that kind of stuff.
It's really neat.
It's really cool. Continuing with attractions or show.
Yeah. Show.
Indiana Jones Spectacular. I haven't watched in a while, if I'm being honest. It's another one of those things where
Yeah.
it's the seats that have no backing. So I think the show's good. It's just the stage. It hurts.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm always doing this to watch it.
It's like,
Like I'm just watching it, and I have a bad back by
it's
the end
like,
of the day.
oh,
My
yeah,
back.
my back. Um, I saw for the first time with one of my friends, and I was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is really like interesting." Like, I didn't know like the concept was like they're like actively filming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't realize it was the show within a show. So I really thought that was interesting. But on my college program, I had the opportunity to go to a backstage tour. And usually for these backstage tours, it's about like 10 to 15 people. So I'm like, oh, you gotta go to the back and like see all like the props and things. I was hyped. And then I show up with my roommates who also got it, and there's like over 100 people there. And it's not backstage. You're literally just sitting there and doing a Q&A with the actors, which
That's
was,
lame.
yeah, it was neat to like hear their stories and like how they got started, but I was like, this is lame.
That's not why I came to this thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're gonna show us like this and that. Like, I gotta go on the stage. And it was like, no, you just sit there. And I had to wake up at like 4 a.m. for it too,
Who
because we had to be there at like 5:30 or something.
I almost did, I think, two or three of those things on my first program. And then I realized I'm not a morning person. So on my second program, I gave up. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't go to these.
Yeah. So for me, I have to say it's a might ride. I think I've only done it twice, and one of them was that backstage tour. But I love the effects. It's really neat, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to get seating, and that seating's really uncomfortable, and it's a long show.
No, I agree with you.
It's like, ugh.
It it's a big might for me.
Yeah.
On to one of my pride and joys, and something that I am heartbroken over because of recent news is Muppet Vision 3D. As we film this, I think like 2 days ago, we got
Yep.
news of officially where Hollywood Studios will have their Monsters Inc. land. It will replace uh, the area that is Muppet Courtyard.
Mhm.
So from the concept art, it looks like they're keeping a theater style for where they'll have something monsters related. They might do another laugh floor, but honestly, I'm not too sure. It looks like they're widening the section that goes towards Mama Melrose for Harryhausen's.
Mhm.
And then I don't know what they're going to do with the Rizzo
I don't
pizza
know.
section. They could make it a big gift shop, like a two-story gift shop.
That'd be interesting.
But then they have a lot of kitchen stuff to redesign and remodel and
Yeah.
put somewhere else. And then they're definitely gonna have to just build new land because of the whole Monsters Incorporated building further
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
So with that unfortunate news, Muppet Vision 3D will have to go. Though, going back to what I said about Rock and Roller Coaster, it was also revealed that Rock and Roller Coaster will be redesigned to have the Muppets in it. To that, don't you thumbs down my Muppets.
I don't like the Muppets.
What don't you like about them?
They're just kind of annoying. There's only like three Muppets I like.
What are those three?
I like Miss Piggy. She's so me. I really
Valid.
like Rizzo because he's a rat.
Rat.
And then I also like there's one that I really like. Oh, Sam Eagle.
Because he's a true patriot.
No, he just has a resting bitch face.
I
He's
like
also kind of hear me
Animal.
out.
I'm writing him down on. We have an episode plan that'll just be Lynn discussing all of those, or it'll be a segment. We don't know.
Who
We
knows?
we have a long list so far after Lynn and I talk off camera, just character after character.
Yeah.
It's clear you have a type. It's like when you look at them side by side, it's gonna be like these all make sense for Lynn.
Yeah.
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 I want to say Animal, Doctor Honeydew, and his lab assistant Beaker.
Also
Mimi.
Beaker.
I like them. And then why can't I think of his name? The bear.
Fozzie.
I love Fozzie. He's like tries to be funny,
Mhm.
and then like it's a joke that he can't be funny. I think, but then
So it
he
makes
is
him
funny,
funny.
so
Yeah.
it makes him funny. Anyways, I'm excited that they're going to do Rock and Roller Coaster with the Muppets. I'm tired of listening to Aerosmith. Sorry to Aerosmith fans, but it's just so loud in my ears. I just can't do it.
Yeah. See, my thing about the Rock and Roller Coaster retheme, I feel like they can't choose like an actual band. Like it has to be fictional because I feel like if they chose a real band, like there's so many controversies and things. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, but I
Mm.
really wanted Powerline.
That was another thing. I know a lot of people stress for Powerline to be there,
Hmm.
which would have been fun. The only thing that Disney would be doing negatively that I don't think people considered was
Hmm.
that you're only going to appeal to like a age range of about 15 years. You're going to appeal to
Yeah.
like the 1990s kids to like the 2005 kids.
Yeah. That's
That's about
true.
it. Cuz like I talk to my cousin who's 10 years old,
Yeah.
or how old is my cousin? My cousin is 14. My bad.
Damn.
He doesn't know Powerline. I know that for a fact. And then I talk to my parents and they're like, "Who the hell is that?"
Oh, yeah. That's true. I
Mm-hmm.
have to say though, Muppet Vision hot take. I don't like the Muppets, but I do like Muppet Vision. Like, I really like how interactive it is. There's a lot to look at. Like, when Sweetums comes out and, like, he's like, Bean, where are you? Or whatever. But I have to say this a lot of people are making the argument that it's Jim Henson's last piece of work, so it should be preserved. And
Mm-hmm.
listen, I'm not saying that it shouldn't, but here's my question. You can't expect Muppet Vision to stay there for like the rest of eternity. Like they were gonna have to change eventually. So like why are people so upset about it now? Like I understand like they're getting rid of it for Monsters Inc. And I mean, if you're a big Muppet fan, I can see how that's a downgrade. But it's like the Muppets are always going to be culturally relevant and the Muppet Vision movie is still going to be preserved. It's just not going to be in that building,
Okay.
which does take out some of that theming and the elements to it. But it's like you can't expect Muppet Vision to be there forever.
I can accept that. I can accept
Yeah.
that.
That's my hot take.
I'll say what they could do
Mhm.
is put Muppet Vision on Disney Plus. So then maybe it's an incentive to get a subscription. It's a way to still have that one extra piece of media out there.
Mhm.
I would watch it at home just for the sake of watching it. I think it is like a very entertaining, like, I don't know, 10-minute segment. I'm not exactly sure how long the show is.
I think it's 15.
Okay. So yeah, 10 to 15 minutes. But what they could do is replace Lightning McQueen and put Muppet Vision there and
Yeah.
make a new film. And it could be about them moving into this new studio that they got.
Mhm. See, I like that. I was just thinking copy paste, but making a new film is like a good idea. Maybe they could like dedicate it to Jim Henson at the end or the beginning of it.
Mhm.
But apparently, I forgot about this until I saw a comment on Reddit. They're putting like a villain show in there at Lady McQueen.
A villain show?
Yeah.
What
I
villain
think it
show would they be putting?
I don't know. I think it was announced at D23 and like we forgot to talk about it, but apparently,
Villain stage show replacing Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy at Disney's Hollywood Studio, debuting summer 2025. Are you serious?
yeah, so it's like why couldn't they have replaced Little Mermaid with that and then put Muppets and Lightning McQueen? Wouldn't that make more sense?
What the heck? See, now let me say this.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing this at D23. We didn't even talk about it when we had our D23 episode.
I vaguely remember this announcement, but it's not a big deal, so I wasn't excited about it.
They'll transform Sunset Showcase into the mysterious reflective realm of the magic mirror. The show will feature appearances by dozens of the most infamous evildoers, with fiendish foes Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, and Maleficent each breaking through the glass to take the stage in a live production number. They're going to have an actual stage show?
Yeah.
My gosh, please.
Like I'm
See,
excited. I
see,
can't wait.
I'm looking at the villains and I see Yzma, Hades, Cruella, Jafar, Queen of Hearts, not Mufasa. What's his
Scar.
Scar? Why does Mufasa sound like a villain name? I don't know if that's just a me thing.
No, it does.
Ursula, Captain Hook, and Maleficent.
Yeah.
Why don't I see the Voodoo Man,
Oh,
Dr.
Dr.
Facilier?
Facilier? I don't know.
He
That'd be
deserves more
good.
recognition, if you ask me.
He's so good. I love him.
He was such a good character. That's so exciting, though.
Yeah.
But we still haven't ranked Muppet Vision. We got on a big side tangent because we had a lot of
Sorry.
new. We had a lot of news that we had to talk about because Hollywood Studios. Can you give it to me? And can I please put Muppet Vision at flawless?
Yes.
Think about the AC. Think about
I
the you
know.
get to you get a seat that actually does this.
Yeah.
That actually reclines.
Wish they just like had seats or something in the pre-show. I just want to
I'm
sit
okay.
down.
I'm okay standing to watch the silly little and that's the other thing. Not only is the pre-show indoors, but
Hmm.
it has its own show. So
Yeah,
you basically get 30 minutes of content for a 15-minute show.
that's true. I never
Pretty
thought
sick.
of it like that.
Well, now you know
I,
you're losing out on 30 minutes of content.
damn, I'm so sorry. Sorry, Kermit.
And Miss Piggy
Yeah, her too.
and Animal
Bad
and
girl.
the Swedish Chef and everyone else.
I like the old guys.
Oh, they're the best.
Oh, yeah.
Going on to the next retired show is Lights Motors Action. I always loved this growing up. It's not there anymore.
Rest
Lynn
in
hasn't
peace.
done it, I think. I thought it was good. It's another one of those ones where you got to sit outside for it and you don't get backings when it existed, but it was really enjoyable to watch.
It sounds
Like
enjoyable.
it was enjoyable.
Just see cars and explosions. That sounds like a good time if you ask me.
Sounds like a very good boy afternoon.
Yeah.
Next on the retired, I'm doing speed run of a couple because we are like already like 2/3 through the episode.
Yeah, I just noticed. I was like, oops.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Did you do this when you grew up?
Okay, part of me remembers the playground. Wasn't there a playground in the area or something?
Yeah, it was like there was like you look like you shrunk down. Like these are supposed to be blades of
Yeah.
grass.
I just don't remember where this was located, but I feel like I did this like once, the one time I went as a kid.
See, it's hard to give a reference because now there's Galaxy's Edge, so a big chunk of the land is completely redesigned.
Oh, okay.
You know what I actually think how to get
What?
here? Okay, and also this is a good description for anyone watching this.
Hmm.
If you walk through the courtyard where you can meet Elastigirl or Mr. Incredibles, it
Oh,
used to be the entrance to Toy Story Mania before they flipped the building.
yeah.
So if you were walking there and you walked like away from the front entrance of the park,
Hmm.
when this existed, that wasn't a wall, it was an opening, and you would have been from this photo, you would have been over here and you would have been walking towards me, and then you could get here.
Oh, okay.
You can visualize that?
Yeah. I had to
Yeah.
think about it in my head.
It's hard to I need like a pen and paper to describe that, but like
Yeah.
that's where it was. So
Okay.
right now that would be backstage or it'd be Galaxy's Edge.
Okay. Wait, I have a question because
Mhm.
you seem to remember it more than I do. Did
Mhm.
they have like a scene with a bee? I remember is either like Universal or something like that. There was like a 3D show and it had like a scene with a bee or something, and like the bee was trying to attack you.
This was only a kids park. This is the equivalent of the Boneyard.
Oh, there was no 3D show?
Nope, not for this. There's a bee in the movie, but not for this.
Maybe I'm
I I kind of enjoyed it. There's just a lot of
okay.
kids when I went.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like a good playground. I'd say probably Might Ride. Like if they had that now, obviously couldn't do it. I'm too old, but if I were a kid, I'd be like, hell yeah.
It's pretty sick. And then what used to exist right across the way from it was Backlocked Studio Tour. That one you like were in a tour bus and
Okay.
you saw like movie sets essentially. There was like
Yeah.
one I think this was for Jaws.
No.
This I don't remember the exact reasoning, but it was like just like a fire. There's water.
Yeah. See, like I don't remember doing this as a kid, but I've like watched videos on it and I have to say the concept is very cool.
It
So,
was good.
yeah.
I wouldn't say it's great, but it is good.
I would say good.
Okay,
I don't have
good.
much to say, but it's good.
And then we got to go back a little bit. I kind of misplaced this, but I think I want to do Star Wars all at once.
Okay.
For the first Star Wars that existed was Star Tours.
Uh-huh.
Do you think about your wife?
Yeah. I am obsessed with this robot.
Her. Do you think they're married?
Bye-bye.
Do you
I hope
think
not.
the flight attendant and the tour not tourist, what is she?
She's like
Uh
a tour guide.
flight yeah, tour guide. They got to be husband wife. I'm
Bye-bye.
telling you.
Isn't that one voiced by the guy who plays Joe in Family Guy?
Oh gosh, I got number
Sorry.
flight AC 38 voice actor.
You know their names?
It had in the description of one of the
Oh.
photos. Lindsay Schneebel is the voice of
Oh.
AC-38 Ace in the Star Tours. No, so it's not Joe
Oh,
Swanson.
Patrick Warburton. That's who it is. He voices a robot though in the
Oh, he
queue.
was he was interesting. Okay, so it is Patrick Warburton then, because this one is referring to this module,
Yeah.
not this one that stands up.
Okay.
Okay, see, this would be a flawless ride
Mhm.
if they didn't have inconsistency with the people throughout the ride. So there's three segments. There's the intro,
Mhm.
the first planet, and the final planet.
Yeah.
So there's who's kidnapping you, who's saving you, and where are you going. And I've had one ride where I got attacked by who was it? I got attacked by Darth Vader, and then I was told by Yoda that I was part of like the Jedi Council or something. And
Mhm.
then I went to the first resistance base.
Mhm.
Or not the first resistance, the resistance, my bad.
Okay.
Which doesn't make sense as a Star Wars person.
I don't know Star Wars, so none of that just made sense. But all I have to ask, isn't Darth Vader dead?
If you watch the sequels, yes. But in the
Okay.
original series, he was like the big bad.
Yeah. He's the big baddie.
So where do you want to put it? Just so I
Um
can match you.
oh my god, I have to say good ride just because of that
Good ride?
robot. Yeah.
I want to say great ride because it's pretty sick simulation and because that robot.
Okay, I was gonna say great ride, but I was like, I think maybe he's gonna go with good ride, so put great ride.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say flawless, but because of the inconsistency, it's a great ride.
Yeah.
The next two, they're not that big. It's just for the Play Disney game.
Mhm.
The first one is the data pad entry for the first resistance. So the first order versus the resistance. It's fine. It was good to play once. So I'm gonna put in the might ride section. I know
Okay.
you haven't done it, right?
Yeah, to me that would be avoid riding. I don't want to waste my time doing that.
Ooh.
But
I'll move it down to not a fan only
okay.
because it is kind of like lame.
Yeah,
You
like
do get
my
to you get to interact with the world. Like when I
yeah.
do something on a communicator, one of the like telephone equivalent poles in the
Mhm.
area, it starts beeping and the lights change.
Oh, that's cool. See, I think that aspect is interesting, but it's like I feel if someone's paying over $100 to go to a theme park, I don't think they want to like play on their phone and like do that. I don't know, that's just me. But
Play Disney is good for the lineups, but it is interesting
yeah,
that they're trying to integrate it with like the park area.
right.
For the next one, it's the bounty hunter one. I know you also haven't done it.
Yeah.
This one you need Magic Band Plus because
Oh.
what'll happen is you'll get assigned a bounty and your magic band will buzz like a heartbeat if you're getting closer to someone, and then it'll vibrate aggressively if you're going in the wrong direction.
Dang.
So
That sounds
it's it's fun because
overwhelming.
it's cool to like try to hunt them down and try to get the right spot.
Yeah. Are you just like hunting a random cast member down? Or are you like hunting, like, who are you hunting?
Like a virtual character. So it's like I need my
Oh,
phone and I need to go in front of a door and I need to scan it, and then it's like, oh, you found Pleplar or whoever. I actually couldn't think of a good Star Wars name.
okay. Kelp.
You got to hunt down Kelp.
That sounds like a Star Wars guy.
I think it's better than the datapad one, but it's not good.
Okay.
It's like you might do it once and you
Okay.
might do it a second time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
To rides though, Smuggler's Run is fun except for the fact that it's like, oh, let the kid pilot it. Let the kid take the wheel.
The worst is when you have an adult who's literally given the instructions
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know what they're doing and they're driving the vehicle and then they
See,
crash.
it'd be better if it wasn't six people because the whole point of it being six is just so they can maximize flow.
Yeah. I don't like doing rides with random people. Like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a Skyliner and they're like, "Oh, sit with these random people." I don't want to sit there and like listen to them argue or like talk about their plans. Like to me it's like awkward, but like I understand like not everyone is going as like one or two or like a group of three. Like most people are coming with their family. But it's like
No,
really awkward like being in those pods and then they're like, "Oh, come on, Timmy, you got to hit him. You got to hit him." And then you're like, "Come on, Timmy, you better hit him too, or else I'm gonna be pissed."
and then I typically do it with one other person. Like I'll go with my dad or one friend. So we end
Yeah,
up getting stuck as the engineer. And if we say, can we wait to be pilot? They're like, nope, sorry, we can't have you do that. You're in
I
single
hate
rider's
that.
line. It's like, well, fuck you.
You just waited all that time to press a single button.
Exactly.
Like, I wish they made it a little bit more interactive.
For that, I want to say it's also a might ride because it's
Hmm.
like I could get stuck with a bad thing or I could have fun.
Yeah,
Same for you.
I agree.
Now for the far better Star Wars one and the far better version of Runaway Railway is Rise of the Resistance because it has like multiple moving platforms, multiple
Yes.
animatronics. It has essentially Tower of Terror integrated, and it has Star Tours integrated with it. Like it is
Hmm.
very impressive to ride.
I love it. It's basically like three rides in one because the
Mhm.
pre-shows.
Oh
But
yeah.
I have to say, I think it's a good ride.
Why? What makes you knock it from like great or flawless down to good?
Flawless? I mean, you know what? I might even argue it is a great ride. The only issue is they have changed some of the effects because that
Hmm.
ride breaks down so often. Like I don't know if you remember the cannons, like towards the end of the ride, they're supposed to like move and then move. But they quit
Those have been
that.
broken forever.
Yep.
They just haven't fixed that.
Yeah. And well, I heard that they stopped doing it because that's why the ride was breaking down. Because I guess it would like trip the sensors, so then the ride would break down.
Hmm. You know what? I gotta agree because I also see Kylo Ren break down often.
Yeah.
Like if a piece of debris comes in front of him, it's because he's not working,
Right.
and I rarely see him working.
Yeah.
So I agree. It's a good ride.
Yeah, it's a good ride.
Uh, have you ever ridden ass?
I love ass.
You love ass.
I'm obsessed with ass.
Lynn's a big ass person. For
Yeah,
those who don't know,
I'm an ass girl.
She loves alien swirling saucers.
I do.
I don't know how that began, but I can't believe that got past Disney. Of like the acronym isn't the best.
Well, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is MILF.
Oh my god, you're right.
So I'm a huge fan of ass and MILF.
Oh, I can't wait to post this.
Oh, me too.
And your parents are gonna watch this and be like, "Why are you talking about asses and milfs?" In all seriousness, I have never ridden ass.
You're kidding me.
Nope. I don't think I've ever been in line for it. Is it good?
Okay, I have to say, this is gonna make me sound like a freak. I haven't had the opportunity to go to Tokyo Disneyland and ride the Baymax ride. This is the North American equivalent. So if I close my eyes and I just imagine Baymax, it's like I'm there at Tokyo. But I have to say, I really do like this ride. I think it's fun when you're wearing slippery clothes. Like if
So you
you're
just
wearing
slide
like,
around,
yeah,
kind of like Mad Tea Party, Mad Hatter Tea Party.
kind of. This one like whips you around. Like I don't know if you went on the Mater ride
I
at
have, yeah.
California Adventure. It's that, but aliens.
Okay.
It's pretty
So
fun.
where would you rank it in your
I have to
opinion?
say, is it bad? I want to say it's a great ride. That's a hot take.
If you think ass is great, then it's great.
Ass is wonderful. I
We
love
don't have a one.
ass.
We don't have a wonderful tier list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Ass is great.
Ass is great.
I love ass.
Moving away from ass, we can talk about Slinky Dog Dash, which the ride itself is not as exciting as you think. If you ask me, I think
That's
the body of the vehicle is so wide and so
yeah.
large that it just has a lot of drag. So I don't feel like I'm going as fast as you could be.
I think it's fun.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's a good ride.
It's a good ride.
I don't know. I just don't like waiting in the queue. It's outdoors. It's very
Hmm.
hot, no shade.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like I would prefer not to wait that long for something that's going to be so short.
So short and so hot.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
there's not really any indoor when it comes to Toy Story Land because it's
Mm-mm.
supposed to be Andy's backyard, which I get.
Yeah.
But maybe Andy left a lunchbox outside that we could sit in. Maybe Andy had a cardboard fort that we could sit in.
Yeah, maybe Andy made like those, stole a few of those little umbrellas from his mom's drinks and like stuck
Yeah.
them in the ground or something. I don't know. Toy Story Land as a girl that passes out? No, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
Do not put me there.
However, to go inside for the Toy Story Land, though the
Toy
lineup
Story.
is massive for a good reason, is Toy Story Mania.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, this is like the first flawless ride that I've had in mind when we started brainstorming doing like tier lists for the parks.
Hmm. I love this ride. It's very interactive. You get to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
My dad and I are very competitive, so it's very fun to like see who gets whose points.
Hmm.
And we're kind of fair where we're like, I aim for my left half and he aims for his right half.
Yeah.
But every now and then I notice that he's had a very good target that he has an aim for. So I'll
Yeah.
get my big ones and I'll quickly turn and shoot his and then I'll go back to my side. And he'll do
Yeah.
it a couple times to me too. And it's cool that you don't realize, oh, there's like a bonus section or there's
Hmm.
like a different ending to this one fight,
Yeah.
like on the screens, if
Hmm.
you break these 7 things. Like
Oh,
I discovered that for the volcano. There's something
uh-huh.
after the volcano that you can do, or you can have like a missile strike in the toy soldier area.
Oh,
There's like a lot of like hidden ones, and it's like
I never knew that.
you have to break all these things, or you have to hit this one thing repetitively until it gets to like 5K, and then a big thing happens.
Oh, okay.
It's really
I
cool.
I don't know, my hand gets tired on that ride.
Yeah, mine too. I'll like leave the ride and I'm just like holding it. I'm just
It's
like,
like, oh.
I gotta get some ice
Do you
because
have
like
like a specific
the last fight is this, and then my wrist
Yeah.
gets tired, so I end up doing this, and I just like yank it. But
Yeah.
that's harder because it's like the reset motion is a lot harder.
Yeah. So I would just do this. But
Backwards?
yeah, like backwards, like pull the string backwards. That's how I
Interesting.
do it.
I gotta try that next time I'm at Hollywood Studios. I want to see if that technique's better for the ride.
Yeah, but then also I've like heard people like put the string between their fingers and just like pull the string with their
Yeah,
fingers.
that's what I do. I put it like
Yeah.
in between the two, like a Spock hand, and I
Yeah.
do like rapid
Yeah.
because like it's really easy to do this motion,
Hmm.
but like at a certain point, it really starts to hurt.
Yeah, like my upper arm, I think because I pulled backwards, like that's why I get so tired.
Hmm. Uh, I don't
Arm
know. I don't
workout.
know if you want to go for shoulder movement or wrist movement. I don't know like the
Yeah.
science of like which is better.
I feel like wrist for that ride would be better though.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like it's hard because you want to get a lot of points leading up to it so that you have a
Hmm.
strong lead. But if you use too much energy, the last scene that gets you the most amount of points,
You're
you can
done.
pull. Yeah, because if you aim for both of your minecart tracks
Hmm.
and you make sure like they multiply quicker, then you're going to get 1,000 more points twice as quick or three
Yeah,
times as quick. But
I
yeah,
love that ride.
it's a
It's
flawless
so
ride.
good.
We're down to the last two though. We got the Beauty and the Beast musical, which is fun.
Mm. I had to say, I'm not a fan. I skip shows, I skip parades. I don't know. And I've seen this one before.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a fan
You
at
didn't like
all.
it?
No.
I don't think I have recent memory to justify an answer. I'll allow I'm not a fan for this.
Yeah. Like the performers are very talented, but it's like I don't want to watch Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
And it's hot because it's outside.
Oh, this one's also outside?
Mm-hmm.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
And now we're down to the final one Phantasmic. Didn't see it for a few years because of obviously
Yeah.
COVID and all that stuff. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see it the year or two leading into COVID. So then when it was 2022 and I got to see it again, or 2023, I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. I went
I,
with my
I like
oh,
it.
I love it. I love it. I went with my coworkers for the first time to see it. My roommates. Then I went with my coworkers and I was like, this is the best show on earth. Why didn't no one tell me about this? Like this is better than the fireworks at
Mm-hmm.
Magic Kingdom in my opinion. But I don't know. I just sometimes it feels really long.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never forget the time I went with my coworkers. It actually started pouring rain, and it was when Elsa did Let It Go, and they actually had to stop right after she did Let It Go because it started pouring so hard. So
Oh my
that
gosh.
was my last experience doing Phantasmic, and I'll never forget it. Like, I thought that was really cool.
So, from your experience with your coworkers
Yeah.
and the whole Elsa thing,
Yeah.
where does that put it on the ranking for you?
Oh my gosh. I have to say, like, it's really, like, I want to say flawless. But sometimes, like, it drags out because it feels so long sometimes, so I probably have to say it's great. Like, I
I
love the
was
variety of characters, like, I just love it.
I was thinking the same thing. I think it's great,
Mhm.
and once again, it's the seats that do it for me.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
But with that, it's all done. We got through
Yeah.
the park. There's nothing we avoid riding. There's just things we're not
No.
a fan of.
Yeah.
But it's good to continue this trend. We
Mhm.
most like no, not most likely. We literally have the next 5 episodes planned. We will
Yeah.
not be doing Animal Kingdom before the new year. That'll be mid to late January, early February at the latest.
Yeah.
But we're almost done Walt Disney World, and then following that,
Mhm.
we'll do Disneyland, and then see what other kind of talks we can do for Disney.
Mhm.
But next week, we have something a little exciting, a little special. Lynn, do you
Yeah.
want to give like a little synopsis of what's to come next week?
Of course. So we are doing a Lynn directed episode. We're going to go over some BuzzFeed quizzes again. And we're also going to explore some new topics such as weird Timu items. And I'm going to introduce you guys to a new internet mystery.
Ooh,
So, ooh,
spooky.
spooky.
But yeah, I'm also looking forward to that because I have a
Yeah.
lot less research I have to do. I just have to edit the video this time.
Yippee!
But with the tier list finished and us over an hour and Lynn giving a little teaser for next week,
Mhm.
we hope you all stay wild.
Stay wild.